It was mandatory shutdown. We can't tattoo anymore.
You know, the beginning couple months was like, oh man, this is the time I've always wanted. That did not last. If you had to choose tattooing or painting, which one would you choose? And for me, it's always been.
This video is about Carlos Torres, a world-famous tattoo artist who could no longer tattoo due to the 2020 and shows the journey of himself and his shop from then until present day. This video has taken me 4 years to make, and this is why it took so long.
What does his name get? Phoenix?
I had the pleasure of meeting Carlos back in 2018 and have been fortunate to film and make videos with him ever since. Carlos is a world-renowned tattoo artist, and after a few glances at his work, it's not hard to understand why. He's a true artist in every sense of the word, with skills going beyond the world of tattooing. Back in 2020 when the pandemic started, I made a video series called Quarantine Creatives, going around and interviewing creatives in different fields to show what they were doing during lockdown. One of those creatives happened to be Carlos Torres. The original intent of the video was to inspire and motivate different creatives during the lockdown, but at the time we only thought the was gonna be a few weeks, and then it stretched out to a few years. But I didn't want that footage to just sit on a hard drive and collect dust forever, so I decided to tell a new story, and that was showing the reality of Carlos as an artist and as a shop owner during that time, but also show him in present day and how him and his team are doing now.
We're a nation in freefall.
To California, where a new 3-week stay-at-home order went into effect Monday.
When was that like, oh shit moment? Like, okay,
Yeah.
this is gonna go.
Yeah. I think the moment that it came into realization was actually when I saw Italy go into lockdown, and it made me start thinking like, this is going to affect us. And I started thinking about how is this going to affect our shop. I got a call from a client in Canada, and he's like, hey man, I can't make it down there. Our government's not allowing us to go to the United States. That was probably when I got a little bit of a panic moment, I think. And it's kind of funny because I'm still getting a ton of emails, people trying to book appointments, and I wish I could be tattooing, but I can't be. For tattooing, I mean, you have to have a client. The other side, though, with the fine art, I don't need anybody here for that, just me, you know? Try to have like 8 to 10 projects going on at one time. If I get stuck on something and I don't know how to finish it, I usually will hang it up on the wall and jump on something else. But that way I'm not like stuck on this for a month, and a month goes by where I don't paint at all, you know. And then the other thing is like once I put them up on the wall, if I'm painting something here and I'll do a move here and I'm like, oh, that's how I'm gonna do to finish up that painting. Oh, I got it, you know. Or like in the mornings, like I could sit there and like I usually will wake up and like look at this and look at the other paintings and then try and get some creative ideas on how to finish those, you know. I also have a lot of commission pieces for fine art that selfishly, this is like a perfect time to catch up on them. And so I've somewhat been enjoying this to catch up on art and catch up, start a few other new paintings just to, I don't know what the right words are for this, but just stuff that I want to do and experiment with. Putting the ideas that I've always had when I'm flying somewhere else, finally being able to put them on paper. Yeah, usually I travel with the sketchbook anyways, but it's always like, oh, I wish I had time to paint that sketch or bring it a little more to life or evolve that idea, you know? And again, like maybe this is the time that I've always wanted, and who knows, man, this is going to be crazy to see how this changes the world or changes people's outlooks on things, you know? And I've talked to quite a few people who were like, man, this really puts things into perspective for me. And so
See how it goes. Who knows what the future has in store.
Forced businesses across the country to close their doors.
Yeah, I mean, this whole interview or video idea started from that initial interview that we did. When we first did that interview, I think maybe out of all the people that I interviewed during that time, probably had the most, I don't know if I'd call it optimistic perspective. You were in a really good space. You were painting and you were sculpting and just like everything just seemed pretty good because you had like a break.
Yeah.
You kept saying like you had a break. You normally would already take an artistic break as it was. Did those, because that was only like a month into if that, ended up lasting damn near 3 years. Did that last, or did you eventually kind of get maybe a little bit bored of being locked up in your apartment?
You know, the beginning couple months was like, oh man, this is the time I've always wanted to paint, draw, do some creative stuff outside of tattooing, you know, and just I guess more projects for myself. That did not last. It was just got to this point where I wasn't, I don't know, I just wasn't inspired anymore. Being like told I got to stay indoors and like I guess just trying to be creative and be inspired and motivated was realizing how much I love tattooing. You know, I missed it a lot, you know. And when I first started painting and, you know, I was getting a little bit of recognition for it, a lot of people would ask me, if you had to choose, you know, tattooing or painting, you know, which one would you choose? And for me, it's always been tattooing because there's something about having like a client in front of you and that personal connection with somebody and making some art for them, you know. Maybe it's a little bit instant gratification when you finish a tattoo and your client goes and looks in the mirror and you just see this smile on their face, and it's something about that in tattooing that I really like.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
I was gonna joke around.
No.
No. Get out. Just leave. Take my machine. Do it myself.
Just do like all cheesy, like from here,
Oh, yeah.
and then like you'll turn around and there'll be like baby powder on your face.
We should do that. Special effects, right, dude?
The name Raven in the Wolves, I read this article about how they both work together out in nature. I dug on it. I mean, the animals alone as their icons, I think is very cool as well, but the strengths that they possess is something that I think to be successful in this industry is something, you know, you want to seek intelligence like a raven does, and then like a wolf, apex predator, pack animal, and that's like how I like to run my shop. Oh, we learn from each other and we go out there and we grind and every day be better.
Let's do it. If not,
I had always was searching for some type of icon for branding purposes. Luckily, I was able to find some time, hook up with a graphic designer, and then come out with this new rebranding and logo. I do believe it was a part of like a fresh start coming out of it. Are things back to normal?
They're definitely different. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, things are different. You know, this was part of the rebranding and also the name change of the art show. You know, we had meetings, creative meetings, like just on the name of the art show alone. And we came up with Ascension because, you know, it might be cheesy, but the way I thought about things was is like everything almost seemed burnt down, like with Ascension was about who's gonna grind and like let's get back to it, you know. And maybe it's not the same as we remembered it or we left it, but it's new times and new challenges. Who's gonna adapt and come out of this thing, you know? I don't want to say come out of the flames because that sounds like pretty lame and cheesy, but who's gonna come out, you know? Who's gonna come out fighting and rise up, you know?